Melanie, it's Haley. I know it's been forever, but I really need your help. I'm in Idlewild now. He won't let anyone leave. I don't have my phone, or I don't have any money, and I don't know where else. Oh my God, he found me.
There's this commune in Idlewild. I think some of the girls there might be in trouble. Sophie, you were a detective. You know what happens when the world forgets about these girls.
So call the police. Let someone else be in danger for once.
Police aren't gonna do anything.
Whoa.
Let go of me! Back off!
Calm down. What really brought you here?
The hell?
I'm looking for a friend.
I need you to tell me who's buried there.
Aren't we all? Look around this table. Everyone here was lost in the darkness at one point. Just like you. Alone, afraid, strangers in a strange land. Then we found each other. And now we're one. You can talk to me.
I don't know what's wrong. The things I saw.
What did you see?
No, this is not real.
This is very real.
I really want to thank Brother Jared and Sister Tamika for posting information on the In Plain Sight Facebook page, information regarding this brand new movie coming out in theaters very soon called One of Us. The slogan goes, "She wanted in to uncover the truth. Now she's dying to get out." You can see major Illuminati symbolism right in this poster, this promo for this movie right there. I believe we're being shown MK Ultra mind control in this movie, or at least in the trailer. I believe we're being shown pagan and blood sacrifice yet again, occultic practices being almost seemingly the norm. I believe, with this man standing over them, as you'll see, which I believe is the cult leader that you will see, or that you just saw in that trailer, that we are being shown the acceptance of occult pagan ritual, and possibly at the same time to ridicule people of faith. They want to ridicule all faith, so that the true faith in Yeshua Jesus is the one that is ridiculed ultimately. And what I'm going to do is show you some screenshots and some information from the internet as well, just so I can prove to you what I believe is going on here. And according to IMDb, it says a young journalist goes deep undercover within a mountain commune and becomes manipulated by a duplicitous cult leader. Okay, and as we go through some of the screenshots, I believe you're going to see that very thing. And it starts off with, this is the main character, I believe her name is Mary. And to me, the number one dead giveaway, and the thing to note is this trailer begins literally with the Illuminati triangle pyramid. Can you spot it? It's right there on her necklace. We need to always remember that nothing is done by accident in any of these productions. It is all on purpose. There is a reason why she's wearing a triangle around her neck. And then Mary and her friend, they're listening to a frantic voicemail from a person named Haley, I believe possibly a friend of Mary's, and she seems to be in a lot of trouble. Haley gives a major impression that she's being held against her will, so Mary decides to investigate, being the reporter that she is. We get flashed to scene as Haley says he won't let anyone leave. She's saying that in a very frantic tone, and then all of a sudden they show this poor girl in a pit. She's got her arm raised up over her head, seemingly denoting that she's been in a pit. You can see even the ground or the earth all around her, so possibly she's been put inside this underground pit and she's being let out now. And this same girl from the pit is now being kissed by this guy. So what is going on here? I believe that this is already looking like some crazy perverted cult leader here and his harem. He's possibly controlling these poor girls in this cult. And then Mary says there's this commune in Idlewild. I think some of the girls may be in trouble. Gee, you think. I mean, to me, this totally reeks of occult stuff going on here. You've got even 5 girls here, to me denoting the 5th age. You've got this one girl here with this blank stare as she beats this drum, and again, I would say possibly again MK Ultra, and they're all out in the forest, which to me is denoting nature slash Gaia slash Wicca worship going on here. And I looked into this Idlewild place. It is actually a real place in California, and lo and behold, they actually have something on this website called Meetup, and it actually says occult meetups in Idlewild. Okay, so there is actually an occult meetup, and if you click on this link down here, it says, "Greetings, my fellow heathens. This meetup group is a way to get the Coachella Valley together with other folk who share the following interests: pagan religion, up to and including Wicca, shamanism, druidry, fairy, ceremonial, eclectic paganism, and similar religious paths." Okay, so I found that quite very interesting, to say the least, that here you've got a show that is depicting this place of Idlewild, or sorry, a movie rather, and here you've actually got a place in Idlewild, California that actually promotes occult pagan worship and gatherings. Okay, so I will leave this website for you. I'll leave the links to this website. Anyways, found that quite fascinating. But anyways, I believe there's nature, Wicca, Gaia worship going on here. I believe we're being shown the 5th age. Interesting that these girls are dressed in white, which is what I'll address later on. Then in the trailer, we see Mary's first encounter with the cult leader. He seems right now pretty helpless for now. Notice how they've given him a kind of long hair and the full beard look, and again that pagan counterfeit Christ figure. But Yeshua never really looked like this. I'm sure you have seen the meme, which I've seen many times by truthers on Facebook, that talk about how this bearded long-haired man never really is. It's not at all a picture of Yeshua. And it says, "Stop worshiping my portrait. My name is Caesar Borgia. I was the son of Pope Alexander IV, who forced my image onto the church. My father, his real name was Rodrigo Borgia, was a gangster, a warmongering, greedy, orgy-loving dictator who began using my portrait in 1490 to claim he was God." Okay, similar, you've probably seen this similar meme on Facebook and other places as well. Same kind of message. So really, this is not a picture of Yeshua. Again, I believe this is possibly a drawing of the real Borgia, who people or the Catholic Church wants people to believe is a picture of Yeshua Jesus, which is just a counterfeit. This, I believe, is what Tammuz, the Antichrist, will probably most likely come looking when he comes to this world very, very soon. So it's interesting how they constantly want to show this messianic or false messianic, Christ figure here. So as we keep going, we see a policeman on his patrol, and he sees this girl. Is she trying to get out of the cult? I believe possibly this is showing the girl under MK Ultra mind control. Then later we see, speaking of mind control, as Mary is speaking here with the cult leader, she looks over the table to see none other than one of the 5 girls from the cult glaring back at her with quite the look on her face, quite the intense look. To me, this girl is a mind control slave of the cult leader. I really believe that she is a part of this, or being controlled by this cult leader. Notice all the candlelight. We saw it over here, and we see it as well in the next photo or the next shot. I believe this is again a practice of Wicca, and it denotes the light of Lucifer. That's why they love this candlelight, I believe. And as we keep going, we see Mary ask the cult leader to tell her who's buried in this spot, as they flash this particular scene. And was the girl in the pit before she was taken out, was that trying to depict her rebirth into a new life? That's possibly what they're showing. And, the cult leader says, "Aren't we all," and I put in brackets, "buried? Look around this table. Everyone here was lost in the darkness at one point, just like you." He's saying this to Mary. So it's coming to say he's acting as if this guy has saved these girls and brought them out of darkness into light. So you've got the duality. They're all wearing white. He's brought them out of their darkness into the light. Again, you've got the 5 girls here. There's one over here. 1, 2, 3. There's one here. You can see the arm 4 and 5. So these are the 5 girls, I think, denoting again the 5th age. You've got again all the candlelight. They're only eating by candlelight, the light of Lucifer that they love to denote. So I believe we're being shown again the duality, the light of Lucifer, and the 5th age, all that kind of thing going on here. And as we keep going, oh yes, everyone at this table just looks so peachy, so full of glee, so overjoyed to be saved, but definitely not. I mean, are these looks of joy? I don't think so. These poor girls, in my opinion, look completely miserable, mind-controlled slaves to this cult leader. And, as we keep going, we see the cult leader trying to, looks like he's seemingly trying to get to Mary now. He says she's like these girls, being alone and afraid, and it seems to me like he's itching to make another mind control sex slave or whatever it is that's going on here. He's just dying to make Mary one of his slaves as well. And then we see one of these girls they seem to be doing all the work for this guy. This one has this bizarre kind of joyful look on her face. Again, MK Ultra, she seems happy to be in her mind control state and doing all this work for this guy. And if these girls get any more peachy and happy, I'm not going to be able to handle it. These guys are just way too happy for me because, is this the face of a young lady that's happy and fulfilled or content in life? I don't think so. This is definitely not the look of a person or a young lady in her prime that is happy and fulfilled. Definitely not. And, we see in another scene in this trailer that Mary and the cult leader and that same blonde girl all driving along. Notice again the bizarre, blissful look on the blonde girl's face. She's staring off into space, but like literally in blissful ignorance. MK Ultra, does this look like a normal picture or a normal scene to you? To me, it totally screams awkward, extremely, extremely awkward. And then it gets more awkward as the cult leader and the blonde girl put their hands on Mary's legs. Again, awkward. I can only imagine if I was Mary what that would be like. And the cult leader says to her, "We were all strangers in a strange land, but then we all found each other." Wow, just how touching, how convenient, just to be able to get, just lure more and more into this, crazy kind of MK Ultra mind control cult. And, just as the cult leader says, "Now we're one," this scene gets flashed, and you can see Mary where she's standing inside. You can see basically a complete Illuminati pyramid symbol that is going on here. Why would this window literally be shaped like a perfect triangle? It doesn't make any sense unless you realize what is going on here. People for the longest time thought that the Illuminati was just a figment of our imaginations, that it wasn't real, that they didn't exist. But funny, and oddly enough, about a year or so ago, I believe it was either 2014 or 2015, they actually came out with their own website. They are completely revealing themselves, I believe. They know what is coming. They know that their final kingdom, the fifth age, is coming very soon, the beast kingdom. They want to rule this world. And so this is real. This is a complete fallen angel Luciferian symbol here. This is one of their main symbols, I believe. We see it on the back of the US dollar bill constantly. This is something that we know many of us carry in our wallets all the time. And so really the beast system, the Illuminati, is real. It is definitely a real thing. And as we keep going, we see Mary saying, "I do not know what's wrong," as the cult leader assures Mary that she can talk to him like he's some good shepherd. But something tells me that Mary can sense things aren't as the cult leader says they are. Things are not, blissful, and everything's not, there's some trouble in paradise here going on. And all of a sudden, we get flashed this crazy scene of this girl with this blank stare, almost like she's possessed. I think we're also being shown major black and white duality symbolism, as above, so below, basically bringing hell on earth and the worship of the devil. And then Mary says to the cult leader, "The things I saw." And the cult leader is like, "What did you see?" But as we look at this scene, you can see major occult initiation ritual going on here. You can notice the black and white duality here, with most of them in white, including the cult leader, and then Mary in the black. And then in the next scene, all of a sudden, Mary is now in a white outfit. So she's gone from black to white, from darkness to light. And notice the 5 girls, behind the cult leader in their styling druid cloaks and hoodies. Nothing pagan to see here. It's only really these pagans, these Satan worshippers, Wicca, whatever you want to call them. They all wear these robes with the hoodies. Major witchcraft and occult stuff going on here. So really, again, it's very plain to see that this is all out paganism going on here. And again, the transformation of Mary going from black to white, darkness to light, as above, so below. And the thing that I find the most fascinating and interesting is this scene right here, where Mary starts screaming, "No, this is not real." And look, all of a sudden, what gets flashed at us, we are being shown yet again, as we've seen in many different videos, major pagan blood sacrifice. The girls are the sacrificial lambs here. You can see the blood all over them. And look at what the cult leader is now. He is this wolf, this ravenous wolf. And not to mention this major New World Order color symbolism here, the black, red, and white. Again, the New World Order colors, you know, the fifth age, whatever you want to call it. We've been talking about the fifth age. You know, we get shown it many times with these, you know, when we see this imagery of 5. And so yet again, what is going on here? You can see even the blood all over this wolf's hand, or the cult leader's hand. What is going on here? I believe we are being shown right from what Yeahua said in Matthew 7, that beware of false prophets. They come to you wearing sheep's clothing, but underneath they are hungry wolves, as the CJB says, and right in the New King James, they are ravenous wolves on the inside. That is what we are being shown here. The crazy imagery is that this cult leader is nothing but Satan, you know, roaming around like a wolf, like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. He wants to devour all of us. He wants to kill us. He wants our blood. And, you know, later on he says, the cult leader says to Mary, this is very real. So really what Mary is seeing here, this is real. The cult is real. But, you know, I really want to say to people who think that all of these cults and this imagery that we're seeing in a lot of these TV shows, this is not fun and games. These things are really happening. The Illuminati, the devil, all of these occult pagan practices, these are real. People are being killed. Blood sacrifice is happening. And I believe they really want to make people of faith look like crazy people, because they want to ridicule all faiths, so that the true faith in Yeahua is what is brought down. But, you know, they want to lead people astray. And of course, what would a trailer be without flashing the one eye symbolism? You know, you have to read, they always have to show who is behind these things. You know, the Jesuit, Freemasonic, Rothschild, Hollywood, Illuminati, these are the people that are behind all of these things. So always remember that these things are real. These things are happening. We are being shown this on a regular basis. Tons of TV shows are showing this. And, you know, before we get into that, I found it quite interesting that when we go into the gematria calculator and put in the name of this movie, One of Us, what I find fascinating is that, first of all, not only about this 441, which we'll get into it later, and so in Jewish gematria it comes up to 441. Look at this, Lady Gaga equals to 441 along with MK Ultra. Go figure. We have been talking about MK Ultra with these girls possibly being under mind control, and Lady Gaga just happens to be a very big proponent or promoter of blood ritual sacrifice. This was one of the tamer pictures that I could find of Lady Gaga, and, you know, constantly showing blood all over her. You know, you could also see some very, very more graphic images of her doing these same kind of things. Here's one of her, you know, from her concerts, and how she constantly loves to have this blood smeared all over her. This is what Lady Gaga promotes, because she is a Luciferian. She is not for God. People think that she promotes God and Jesus and this stuff, but she is not. She is a Luciferian. She worships the devil, which is why she hangs around with people like Marina Abramovich. She goes to her spirit cooking events. You see her looking over basically what looks like a dead body in blood. There's Marina right there. There's good old Gaga right there. You've got them even putting the spoon into it and eating what is possibly pretend blood and these same kind of things, making it look all normal. I mean, look at the people's faces. They think this is like a normal thing to them. These are what the elites and the celebrities and the world leaders, and these are what these people are doing. They are Luciferians. They worship the devil. They bow down to Baal. They are all Baal worshippers, and this kind of thing is being constantly pushed onto society. We have seen pictures of Rihanna as well, constantly depicting blood sacrifice and having this stuff all over her face. We see this being pushed by people like Eminem. He even has either a song or a CD called Bloodbath, and of course you see him sitting in a tub of blood. This is again devil practice. This is devil worship, Baal practice, whatever you want to call it. This is constantly being pushed onto us. Many of you will remember a TV show that I believe is either still on or ended recently called True Bloods. It was a vampire show, and of course you've got the cover of Rolling Stone magazine back from 2010 showing some of the main characters from the show, and they've got, of course, what they got spattered all over them is human blood, or what looks to be human blood. So we are being shown this human blood sacrifice all the time. And speaking of more recent shows, there's this one called Scream Queens. We have spoken about this before. Yet again, showing blood all over the place. I believe in the show, they are being terrorized by a devil-like creature who is this guy. He basically goes around killing people and doing all kinds of horrible things. So again, Scream Queens. This is, I believe, again, a current TV show. So again, major blood sacrifice going on. You've got the red, white, and black New World Order color symbolism yet again depicted all the time. And of course, you'll remember Santa Clarita Diet, a video that I did very recently, not too long ago, about Drew Barrymore, who basically comes back as a zombie. And what does she do? She has to eat human blood and body parts in order to stay alive. And they make it seem like it's so funny. Her husband just tries to cover it up, and they just think it's just such a funny thing. It's all a big joke. But really, it is not a joke. This is serious. This is major Baal practice. But they push it onto people in a very clever, cunning, sinister, subtle way, as if to make it seem like it's funny. But it's really just not. And I really love my brother Run to Christ. He really exposed this by bringing up this scripture from John 6, where Yeahua said that he was saying to them that, yes, indeed, I tell you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you do not have life in yourselves. And even the New King James says, most sure I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. So really, all of this stuff is all a perversion of what Yeahua, Jesus, has told us. Eating human flesh and drinking human blood, it is a perversion of what Yeahua said. In eating his flesh and drinking his blood, he was talking about his flesh, his body that was going to be ripped to shreds for us, his blood that was going to be shed for our sins. And so that is how we partake of his flesh and blood, by when we accept the sacrifice of Yeahua in dying for us and shedding his blood and having his body ripped in shreds for us. We were not going to physically eat his flesh and drink his blood. We were to accept by faith the sacrifice that Yeahua did for us. But sadly, the devil is perverting all of these things, and people are just falling for it and thinking that it's all a big joke, and thinking that these Baal practices are totally fine and normal, when it's anything but. And funny how that gematria calculator came up with this one of us also coming up to MK Ultra. And I'm going to leave this article for you to see for yourself. But MK Ultra, there's a great article here done by the Vigilant Citizen that talks about Monarch or MK Ultra mind control. It is a method of mind control used by numerous organizations for covert purposes. It is a continuation of the Project MK Ultra, a mind control program developed by the CIA and tested on the military and civilians. So really, I believe many of these actors, all these people doing these things, they are possibly under mind control, and they are using these TV shows to put people, the general public, under mind control as well, to accept these things as normal when they're anything but. And what is also quite interesting is that, as we saw that this One of Us movie comes up to 441, in the Strong's Concordance in the Greek, this number 441 just happens to be a word that means desirous of pleasing men, a renderer of service to human beings as opposed to God. So we can see these cult leaders, these women in this movie One of Us, are serving a man. They are not serving God. They are giving services to a man and not to God. This is all about pleasing man. Exactly what is being shown in this movie, in these TV shows. They're all pleasing themselves. They're living for the devil. They're not pleasing God. They are pleasing man. They're pleasing the devil. That is what I believe is being shown here. And as we, did a video even some time ago about another movie depicting cult practices, this movie Colonia, which was actually based on a true real life situation that happened, I believe, a few decades ago in South America. You've got, again, major New World Order themes in this movie. I would encourage you to check out the video that I did some time ago. Look at even the trailer for this movie. Even check out the movie if you wish. But major New World Order cultic kind of thing going on here, under major mind control. This was the cult leader here forcing people. He would also make it seem like he loved them, but he really didn't love them at all. He just wanted to control them. Okay, so even this show, or again, this movie called One of Us, I believe we're being shown, again, the hive mind that the Illuminati wants us to have. Having all of us under one mind is the best way that the Illuminati can control the general population. And so, interestingly enough, this movie is called One of Us, because that's what the devil wants. He wants every single human being to be one of his people, to be one of us under the devil. That's what he wants. So he wants everyone under his hive mind to think like him, to worship him, and to live their lives in servitude to the devil, which reminds me many times over and over again of the movie Ghost in the Shell, where we see the scene in the trailer of all these people hooked up to the matrix, hooked up to the wire. They are part of the hive mind. They have given themselves over completely to technology. They're plugged into the matrix, so now they are in the hive mind. They can be controlled by the devil and his people. They are in the hive mind. So we are shown this constantly, just like we're being shown in this movie, One of Us. They want to draw Mary into that cult. And it also really reminded me, and I'll close with this, the movie The Village. How many remember this film back from the early 2000s? I believe it's from 2004. It starred Joaquin Phoenix and Bryce Dallas Howard. And again, these people were under mind control. They were being told in this small little village that these monsters, which are right here in this picture, were basically roaming around, that they had to, stay away from them, and that they had to keep safe. But really, it all ended up being a hoax. These people, were being led astray by the leaders or the elders of that particular village. There was no such thing, but they were, really simple-minded, sadly very innocent, humble people, but they were being manipulated. So this whole thing with this supposed monster was not even real. So again, totally showing the mind control, the even the power that leaders, that elders, or that these cult leaders can have over a small group of people or over a large group of people, which is what I believe we are seeing in these movies, what is happening in real life. So many people under the control of Mystery Babylon. She is confusing everyone. She is the mother of harlots, just as Revelation 17 says. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city, Jerusalem, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So the pagan Jerusalem, the Illuminati, the Zionists, the mystery Babylonian religions, these are the things that are leading people astray. It is confusing people. It is leading people into these all-out horrible Baal practices. They are accepting all of these things. People are being led astray through the movies, through their pagan churches when they don't listen to truth, through all this blood sacrifice and ritual pagan Baal stuff that is going on. This is what I believe is being shown in this particular movie, that they want to make pagan practice normal and seemingly okay. And, that is exactly the opposite of what the Bible talks about. We are to follow Yeshua, Jesus. He is our Lord and Savior. He has come to save us. He has given us or shed his blood for our sakes. He's allowed his body to be ripped to shreds for us. So we are to serve him. We are not to eat the flesh of human beings. We're not to drink the blood of human beings. These are, again, pagan practices of Baal, worship of the devil, whatever you want to call it. This is what is happening. But sadly, these kinds of things, is being promoted all the time. I showed just a few TV shows and movies depicting, again, the blood sacrifice and glorifying it and making it look like a totally normal thing. But it is anything but normal. So do not be fooled. This is not normal, even though they want to break down all different kinds of faiths so that they can break down the true faith in Yeshua. Do not fall for it. There truly is only one faith. Put your trust in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah. He is the only one that can save you from this world, because it is getting worse and worse, and we need to put our trust in him, because the signs of the times are everywhere. The return of Yeshua is at hand. He is coming anytime now to take his people out of this world. And so please be ready. This judgment of this world is about to come very, very soon. So as always, don't believe anything that I say. I would encourage you to do your own research, to look into these things for yourself, but always be aware of what is being shown to us in plain sight. God bless you.
Our families came to this blessed place, far from any city, in search of a peaceful life. But soon after we arrived, we realized we were not alone.
We have always had, since the day we settled here, a gentle understanding with the creatures who live beyond our borders. We do not stray into their woods. They do not come into our village. It is a truce. feel they were warning us. Why would they do this?
Does anyone here know of a reason?
Never enter the woods. That is where they wait.
That game the boys play at the stump. They put their backs to the woods and see how long they can wait before getting scared.
Let the bad color not be seen. It attracts them.
This color is not allowed. You must bury it.
Heed the warning bell, for they are coming.
I heard their breathing. It was a dreadful sound.
Our days of peace are over.
I ask permission to cross into the Forbidden Woods to get help.
Between everything they love
If he dies, all that is left to me will die with him.
and everything they fear,
Do your very best not to scream.
there is a line that must be crossed.